Much. And a special thanks goes out to our clients and to the other athletes who are here tonight. This is, as I indicated, sort of a crazy time in the football year. And some of you all are going to be changing addresses pretty soon. Some of you may add a few dollars to your pocket, but some of you may be going on into the pros from the college ranks. And you could be anywhere. You're here tonight supporting us. I think Ken all showed us why we should all be here. So to our athletes, from all of us at Athletes First, thank you very much for coming. And for some of you, it's been an awfully special year since we were last here. We at Athletes First were fortunate enough to represent 8 Pro Bowlers. Miles Austin, the fantasy pick of the year. Clay Matthews. Brandon Merriweather, who's over there corrupting my kids. Aaron Rodgers. Reggie Wayne, again. Wes Welker. Ray Lewis for the 1,000th time or so. And the game's MVP, Matt Schaub. Let's give him a hand. And we were also lucky enough to represent 7 participants in the Super Bowl. From the Colts, Donald Brown, who's here tonight. Eric Foster, Freddie Kao, Curtis Painter, and Reggie Wayne, again. And as Michael indicated, Adrian Arrington and Chip Vaughn on the world champion New Orleans Saints. Man. And possibly the most important accolade goes out to Brian Waters, who was just noted last month as the Walter Payton Man of the Year, as the most generous, most giving player in the NFL. Not here tonight, but let's give him a hand in absentia. And this year didn't go by, certainly, without a lot of things happening in our clients' lives that were far more important than any of the honors, any of the bowl games that they were in. Married this year, a bunch of people, the Bins, the Booties, the Feelies, the Orlovskis, the Piermans, and Kevin Matthews and Zach Miller were both married tonight, not to each other, hopefully. That would be a better scoop, Michael. And that's why they couldn't be here. The engaged to be married are H.B. Blades, Kyle Bowler, David Bruton, Chad Henney, who's here tonight, Colt McCoy, who put all men in this room to shame by proposing on the 50-yard line at his college stadium. Jordan Palmer, Chester Pitts, and Laurent Robinson are also engaged. And a huge, huge, huge year for client babies. When Natalie gave me the list and I reflected on it, it's a monstrous list. Thankfully, my wife and I didn't contribute to it this year, but the Clarys, the Bins, the Clemens, the Darlings, the Harringtons, the Kaos, the Meesters, the Redmonds, the Waynes, and the Walters all had babies. And on top of that, expecting babies are the Castles, the Jacobs, the Snyders, and the Schaubs, where it's due any moment, which is why they're not here, although they were going to take a Winnebago out here. So let's give a hand to all the special events in our guys' lives. And the last thing that we do tonight, is hand out the Golden Heart Awards. One award goes to a businessman or woman who has been as giving as he has been successful. And past recipients have included Bo and Dick Marconi, Paul Macaration, Ambassador George Argyris, who's here tonight, Quicksilver's Bob McKnight, who is also here tonight. Peter Uberoth and Bill Thompson. And the other award goes to a sports figure who has succeeded dramatically both on the field and in the community. And past recipients have been Trent Dilfer, Pat Tillman, Steve Young, Drew Bledsoe, Warwick Dunn, and John Lynch. And the two recipients tonight, Bob Barth and Ray Lewis, could not be more deserving. The first honoree tonight is Bob Barth. I've known Bob for nearly a decade or so. Our first encounter, as you may recall, is that we were the only two people at the Orangewood board meeting without suits. And from that moment on, I knew that we would get along. I have seen you in the past few years as a great dad, encouraging Missy and Tyler to work hard and to follow their dreams. I have seen you as a very lucky husband. Susie is probably one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. I've seen you as a great companion, whether it's us being on the field together at a Raiders-Jets game, watching Mark Sanchez eat a hot dog like this, or riding around on the biggest boat in Newport as you were hosting a party, or at the Super Bowl at a posh party where you're picking things off of a waiter's tray as it goes by. You've been a wonderful friend for the last several years, and I've also seen you as one of the most giving people I've ever met. There is no cause that seems to avoid you, and we at Orangewood, all of us involved with Orangewood, are very glad that you're involved with us. To present the award to Bob will be Dave Ritchie, who is the chairman of our Orangewood Board of Directors and also a very close friend of Bob's. But first, let's look at a video for a quick thing about Bob.
Hey Bob, Tommy Lasorda. I'm sorry I can't be there. I wished I could, but I had to go another direction because I had previously made these plans. But I know that you're well deserving of an honor that you're getting, and the people there who come there will show you their feelings and appreciation for what you are and what you represent. You're an outstanding man. But, you know, I don't want to roast you too much. I know it's going to be a roast rather than a serious evening, but I want all those people to know that you are, without a doubt, one of the most generous men I ever met. I found out, your wife told me that every year you donate $25,000 to the family of the unknown soldier. You still have the checks to prove it. But they also tell me, Bob, that you went to the doctors one day and you told the doctor you needed help, and he said, "What's wrong?" You said, "I need something to improve my sex life." And the doctor told you, "Have you ever thought about jogging?" And you said, "No." He said, "Well, let me tell you something." He said, "You jog 3 miles every day. Do that for 10 days. And then come back and see me. You'll see a big difference." 10 days later, he calls the doc. He said, "Doc, it's Bob." He said, "Well, did you jog 3 miles every day?" He said, "Yes, sir." "For 10 days?" "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, did it improve your sex life?" He said, "How the hell do I know? I'm 30 miles away from home." So, Bob, have a good time. You deserve it. You're a good man. You're a good friend. I only wish I could be there to be part of the festivities, but unfortunately, I can't. I'm here in spring training now, Phoenix, Arizona, with our team, and everything's going real good. So, Bob, have a great time, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bob is a very interesting man. He appears very tough. He's very driven. And at first you might be intimidated by that. But after you know him and you actually see what he does, he obviously cares so much about everybody. He's a big, sweet teddy bear.
Bob Barth is a man who has always known what he wanted out of life. He wanted to achieve success in all facets of life, personal and professional, and he wanted to give back. Unlike most, however, his giving has never been dependent upon his success.
He would set these goals up for himself. By the age of such and such, I'm going to have this much and I'm going to be doing that. I remember giving $200 or $300 to some charity when we really didn't have that much to give, period. But he was always a giver. That was always amazing to me.
When I think of Bob, I think about how smart he is and how intelligent he is. He is almost photographic to me. I don't think there's things he ever forgets. I wish he could forget some things I told him. In fact, no.
Using his gifts and talents for business, Bob's financial success blossomed. In keeping with his character, his generosity has kept pace with his financial achievements.
Over the last decade, Bob has helped so many people in so many different ways. You really get to see a person when you see how he opens his heart and his checkbook to help others.
You know, birds of a feather do flock together, so he has a group of guys that are all like that.
I look at his friends and his network, and yeah, they're business associates, but I think a lot of the people he respects the most are people that give back, and I think that's important to Bob.
Bob always says, you know what you have to do, you have to give back. That's his belief, that if everybody gave back, and when they do give back, put it that way, it makes the world go round.
Perhaps more than anything else, there is one element in his life which makes Bob's world go round.
When I think of Bob Barth, I think of Bob as a family man. When we come into Dodger Stadium or Angel Stadium and Susie's there and the whole family's there, boy, Bob's face lights up.
Bob Barth's commitment to giving back and his love for his family is perhaps no more evident than in the values he inspires in those who are closest to him.
Tyler has gone with Bob for the last 15 years. Then he goes to all Bob's philanthropic moments with the charities. And now Missy has stepped up to the plate, and bless her heart, she has done the same thing. They are carrying the torch.
Is there a person who was ever in need that Bob didn't help? I never met him. Was there a cause that he wouldn't pitch in for? I never saw one.
He's one of those guys that has so much energy. He's a dynamo, 24/7.
Bob, you know, over the last 10 to 15 years, as our friendship has flourished, as we've traveled around the country, I've tried everything to get you to adjust your diet. Your laugh is infectious, your helping of others is unbelievable, but I've now concluded why you can't lose weight. You have the world's biggest heart inside that body.
My dear, precious, wonderful, Mr. Wonderful, that's who I kind of labeled you as so many years ago, and it is so true. You are. Now I'm going to cry.